Reason. You know Reason, right? Reason TDE. Reason I like to call, and I don't mean this disrespectful at all. I like to call Reason like.
Here comes the disrespect.
I like to call Reason at the time, when he was with TDE. I like to call him like, your third star, your third, fourth man on the bench or whatever. Obviously Kendrick Lamar was a star. Then you had SZA. Then you had Schoolboy Q. Then you had Ab-Soul. And then you could start throwing in like Reason as fifth or Sir. But apparently, Reason was having label issues with TDE.
Yes.
And one of his ways of trying to get out of the deal was to like or compliment Drake during his beef with Kendrick Lamar. And Reason admitted to Bootleg Kev that, that's what he did on purpose to get out of his deal. Now, granted, on that interview, I couldn't tell if his feelings were genuine, like about actually liking some of the things Drake did or wanting to side with him. Mm-hmm. But, he kind of just said, that was my way of trying to get out my deal. And it worked, apparently. And, I think a lot of people feel some type of way about it. How do you feel about this situation with Reason? Do you think it was like understandable, or do you think it was, weaselly?
I mean, if I got to take a side, man, trying not to put myself in his shoes, because if I put myself in Reason's shoes, I get where he's coming from. That's a genius strategy, if you want to be honest.
Has it been used before?
Maybe just nobody's admitted.
Oh,
like, and that's the thing. Like, I guess there's a certain level of not giving a damn at this point for him. Maybe that's how dark it was for him with TDE. He saw no other way that let me compliment the arch nemesis of the biggest guy on this label at one point during the battle. Very strategic. And if that was his goal to get off, that's actually fire that he was able to make that happen. On the other side, though, and this is how I truly feel, that's weaselly. That reeks of disloyalty. That reeks of dishonesty. Like, and that's the other part. Like, did he genuinely feel this way? Like, I see that as like a damn near a snakish move in a sense. I kind of do. And this is like, I don't know how obviously other people feel. I haven't like done a deep dive on like the temperature in the room per se, but I do, before I do keep going, I do want to say he did respond, to the criticism that he was getting, where he basically said, I get it. This beef to y'all is everything, so I completely get why some fans feel away. He said, but for me as an artist and a human, I was that before I was obviously anything else. He said, me not dropping music means I can't put food on my table and feed my family. He said, if it ever comes down to being able to do that or choosing a side in a beef, I'm going to choose my survival. He said, if you can't understand that, that's fine. Love to those who do. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you put yourself in Reason's shoes, how could you not side with him? But I'm not choosing to do that because I do think it's a bigger discussion at hand. Like, that's corny to me. I think it's corny to admit it. Not the action of what he did. I think it's corny to show your cards and tell the world you fake sided with Drake in order to get out of your deal. If he did that privately and nobody knew, again, nobody would feel any type of way, me included. We wouldn't have an opinion to provide. So that's how I feel. Like, I understand the move. I don't like that he voiced it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about him. I mean, but at the end of the day, we talking about him, right?
True.
Like, for
all publicity,
all day Friday,
all publicity is good
people
publicity.
People talked about him, and the thing is, Reason can spit,
and he got a new album coming, don't he?
He has a new album coming out. I got a chance
that you got.
Yeah, I got a chance to hear it.
By the way, it's not out, guys.
It's not yet, but
subtle flex.
Yeah,
very subtle flex.
He can rap his ass off. So, like, to me, you pulling antics or whatever, it don't matter if you can rap your ass off. Like, there is a bunch of people who saw that video and said, okay, let me check out his stuff. And they probably checked out his most recent video and saw he can rap his ass off.
Right.
I always say loyalty's overrated. I've been saying it for years.
Mm-hmm.
Loyalty is overrated. I don't believe you have to be loyal. You should want to be loyal, but you don't have to be loyal to people who aren't loyal back. And I've heard TDE. People have label issues with TDE like all the time.
Absolutely.
SZA is unbelievable what SZA's been able to do because SZA had major label issues with TDE.
Her and Punch be arguing
like,
on Instagram.
Crazy. SZA for years. This is, mind you, this is before SZA dropped Lana, SOS. Mm-hmm. She couldn't drop. Can you imagine, guys? SZA, the biggest woman R&B artist right now, maybe one of the biggest all time, could not drop. How could you not want to drop a SZA album?
It's crazy.
She couldn't.
It's crazy.
So, you know, I understand, like, to get to a certain point, to that level of disdain for your label that you want to get out by any means necessary. I mean, I get it. But, you know, for me, the problem, like I said, the problem is that he I don't think he should have said it. But
so we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Okay, all right.
I don't think
I was trying to figure out where you were with it. But
because to his defense, once again, I believe he was siding with Drake early on, like when Push-Ups came on.
That's what he said.
You know,
that's what he said.
It was early. We didn't know it was going to snowball to this situation, and you know, because this beef with Drake is personal. It's about loyalty. It's about, you know, where you repping and who your crew is. So, you know, I don't think he knew it would get to this, but by any means necessary, man. Like, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get out of your deal. It just, you know.
No, I wanted to talk about this because I'm like, to me, it's a good discussion. And like I said, for the purposes of like how I truly feel, again, I just ultimately feel like he shouldn't have said it. Now, with that being said, I can understand where he's coming from. I do. I genuinely, as seeing his explanation, why he did what he did, the depths of the disdain, like you said, that it probably got to for him, where it was like a matter of can he pay his bills, that would make somebody choose survival. And I think most people would probably do something extreme in order to survive in their eyes. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, it's
so how could you knock that?
How can you not? I mean, it's,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, you actually see it with basketball a lot. Like Jimmy Butler to get out of his Miami contract was doing all kinds of crazy, wild stuff just to get. I personally don't love that.
That's a great analogy.
You know what I mean? I don't love that. You know, so it's happening. So where does he go from here after this? Where does he? What do you think happens next? Because you know what sucks when you talk about loyalty. What sucks, and it's not this person's fault. It's not Kendrick's fault. But reason, I don't know how many Kendrick Lamar features has he gotten.
I think 1 or 2. Maybe.
You know what I mean? How much help has TDE given him? I'm asking.
I don't know.
I'm generally asking. So it's like, you know, y'all weren't helping me that much anyway.
Bro.
Right?
Bro.
So let me figure this thing out by myself. There's a lot of people that just said F it.
Yo.
Like the days of being signed to a major label is like dwindling.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to kind of do.
It's not the only way.
It's not the only way. And you're realizing I'm not getting those benefits. It's not like back in the day where if you were signed to Bad Boy, you had guaranteed Biggie on your song, Mace, Deluxe, Faith Evans, and all the people. It came with the stimulus package. It's like Reason was kind of just left.
I'm going to be honest with you. We should have all seen this coming.
What reason?
Because, what he ended up admitting. We should have all seen this coming. You know why? Let's all not forget, because we all like to have revisionist history. Not too long ago, the president of TDE was back on Fig, and was arguing with Reason, saying, "Yo, the public can't even name 5 Reason songs." He asked everybody in the room, "Can you name 5 Reason songs?" They genuinely could not. If the president of your label is downplaying you to that extent publicly, things have gotten to a level of toxicity where it makes sense why he would be like, you know what? F them. I'm getting out of here.
That's wild.
Right?
That's wild. I mean, it's artists, man. I be feeling for artists, man.
It's unfortunate.
I be feeling for artists.
It really is unfortunate, man. Shout out to Reason. Hey, listen, Reason is a dope ass rapper. Like this goes without saying. If you ever heard a Reason song, you know that boy can rap his ass off.
Yeah.
And so I do want to hear
it's
that
like
new.
That's not a flex. I mean,
no, but I want to hear that new album. Like put some. I want to hear. The Reason has never been this hot. In the public eye.
Shouldn't the president? You say that you can't name 5 Reason songs. Like, shouldn't that be an indictment on y'all that y'all not pushing him? You know what I mean? Like, that's not. But anyway,
I think it's shared blame. It's shared blame.
All right. I mean,
you know what I mean?
At the end of the day, you know, Reason reminds me of Kevin Durant. He just wants to hoop. You know what I mean? He just wants to make music. He just wants to make music.
Well, look,
let him make music.
I got a question for you though. If you're gonna compare him to Kevin Durant, don't leave out the fact that Kevin Durant is a superstar on the court.
Of course.
You can't handle
I'm talking about, so
mentality. I get you. But at the end of the day, if you want to go home and after balling, you better be like that on the court. And so the question now becomes, do people believe Reason is like that on the microphone? Yes or no?
I mean, yeah.
And that's the indictment. If you could put any blame on Reason is, have you generated enough interest for people to like get into your story, get into your music? I think that's where their hate was coming from.
He's done. He's done some good stuff in his career.
Anyway, shout out Reason, man.
Yeah.
Listen to the full episode. Link below.